The first reason why people ought to be following you, what they look for in a leader, really is because they believe in you. If you take a look at the responses to this question, and this is a reminder for those who were part of the breakfast, but let's go and perhaps spend a little bit more time with this. If you go down this list and you look at the left-hand and the right-hand columns in alphabetical order, the first one that gets 51% or more of the votes is what? And you can have this slide in your materials, is competent. The next one is forward-looking, followed by honest, and followed by inspiring. Those four, and only those four, have consistently over 30 years been the ones and the only ones that have gathered more than 51% of the votes, if you put all of them together. For some organizations, others of these might rank up there, but globally, these are the only four. So if we were to select our leaders based simply on qualities, the four which appear at the top are these: honest, forward-looking, competent, and inspiring. And the right-hand column represents credibility or believability. If you look at what researchers call source credibility, which is why people will believe something that someone says, it has to meet three criteria. The first is people perceive the messenger to be personally trustworthy. They believe that that person has expertise in what they're talking about. And lastly, they see that person as dynamic. Now, the first two make the most difference. The last one is sort of the booster. If you have the first two and you have two people, say, who are potential leaders, the one who is more dynamic will be selected over the one who is less dynamic, even if they are both considered trustworthy and competent. Now, they're side by side up here because if you take a look at three of them, honest, competent, and inspiring, which is from our data, and look at the credibility data, you'll see that they are synonymous, that they correlate with each other. For honest, you can say trustworthiness. For competent, you can say expertise. And for inspiring, you can say dynamic. Three of the four qualities that people look for and admire in a leader have to do with personal credibility. Personal credibility is the foundation of leadership. If you don't have it, from their perception, people are not inclined to follow you. Personal credibility. Now, some of you may be saying, I know that there are some leaders, maybe some in very high offices, that I don't consider to be credible. And that may be true. This isn't predictive 100% of the time. But what I can tell you is when people are seen as credible, people are more likely to be committed, more likely to follow than if they don't.